Dooby-dooby-doo, where are you? We got some work to do now.
I wrote over here in my version of the Good Times Machine. Remember those vans, you older generation folks from like the 70s, maybe even into the 80s? GM sold them, I think, Chevy. Good Times Machine. Shag carpeting. Window unit. I drove that vehicle over here. All right, where's Drew Brees? Enough Scooby-Doo. There he is. I was live from La Jolla. Miss Peaches just got off the phone with Drew Brees. They had about a 30-minute conversation one-on-one, just shooting the breeze. No pun intended. And then Miss Peaches said, Drew, do you mind introducing Corey's show like you were at the Dome pregame in a huddle with the team? And that was it, just right there, live from La Jolla, California. You only get that on the neutral ground. All right, it wasn't live. It was recorded, but it was Drew Brees, and it wasn't from La Jolla, but it was from the Dome probably, or maybe a road game. I don't really know where that audio is from, but it is Drew Brees, and he does say New Orleans. Anyway, the 4 o'clock hour this afternoon on a pretty nice day, although a little chilly, especially with that wind. The 4 o'clock hour on this nice Tuesday afternoon, January 2024, New Orleans, Louisiana, and beyond. Brought to you by Blue Plate Mayonnaise. Yummy Blue Plate Mayonnaise. Can you believe 95 years since 1927? A New Orleans family tradition. If you're a New Orleanian, native or official, like moved here and have just, locked in, it's got to be Blue Plate. It is New Orleans mayonnaise. Now, when you're at your Rouse's or wherever you're picking up your groceries, wherever you're shopping, you got to look in the mayonnaise section a little bit harder than normal because that old traditional Blue Plate mayonnaise label you remember your entire life is gone. That's right. They've changed the label. New look, same legendary taste. Look for the new label. New look, same legendary taste. Same stuff inside the jar. Blue Plate Mayonnaise, 4 o'clock hour. Brought to you by Blue Plate Mayonnaise this afternoon. Yummy. Hey, tomorrow, Quinn Hillier and Ellis Henneken are going to join us. Another edition of Hillier and Henneken. Just so much going on, so much to keep up with. Lloyd Austin and January 6th and Epstein list and on and on and on. It's almost like Israel and Hamas and Ukraine and Russia. It's almost like, oh yeah, forgot about those. So much going on domestically. There's an election in November. Tomorrow, Quinn Hillier and Ellis Henneken join us on the program. Boy, today kind of chilly, like I was saying, especially with that wind. 54 feels like 40 out there right now. Not the feels like temperature, just what I'm feeling. That wind's like north of 10 knots at times. It was earlier, especially. It was a blowing. And it's kind of deceiving. You look out the window, if you're in the car for a while or you're inside, you think it's just, 60. It's blue sky and sunny. Then you get outside, the wind's blowing north of 10 knots, I would say. I stuck my finger in my mouth, Miss Peaches, then held it up in the air, one of those. I was like, it's north of 10 knots. That's where we got that from, so it's official. Yeah. And then the 54 degrees, which I pulled off of, my phone, a.k.a. weather.com, that type of gimmick. I think that's accurate. Combined with my guesstimate with the finger thing. I didn't really stick my finger in my mouth and do that. Just it was blowing and it was cold. And I was underdressed when I went out. And then that wind hit me. I was like, damn. And that was in the sunshine. You get kind of stuck in the shade for a little while underdressed. It could be quite cold out there. Tomorrow, AM, we wake up to around 39 on the South Shore. which means you North Shore folks protect the pets. I'm already doing it. I've got an outdoor cat. So I've got the garage door cracked, and then I've got like one of those paint, drop sheets or whatever for painting, drop cloth. That's kind of blocking the door, just a little spot the cat can get into the garage. And then I've got some heaters going in the garage. I would say if it's going to be 39 tomorrow morning, and say if there's a wind blowing, it could be like freezing like on the South Shore. If my outdoor cat's in that garage, it's like 50, 55. Comfortable. No wind. Warmish. No, you got to use North Shore folks, Trey End country, you got to do the triple P, plants, pipes, most importantly, pets, outdoor pets. Make sure they've got a warm spot available. Indoor pets, get them inside. Make sure they don't escape. No, it could be a little cool tomorrow. Friday, maybe some rain. Saturday and Sunday looks great this weekend. Miss Peaches, it's Tuesday. I'm already like, Saturday and Sunday. It's like, that you're closer to last weekend, Corey, than the one coming up. Hey, today is National Law Enforcement Day. I'm one of those strange people. I'm pro-police. I'm pro-law enforcement. No, you laugh. You've got loony left. Defund the police. You got wacky right. We need to dismantle the FBI and the CIA. Just insane, crazy people. Anti-law enforcement, both sides on the extreme. The folks that were making fun of the stupidest thing, they should have made fun of it. Defund the police. It's just so moronic. That's where the woke, hyper left, loony left progressives lose everybody. Take Abraham Lincoln's name off the building. His father had slaves in Kentucky. So just crazy, crazy. That's where you lose. You lose everybody with that kind of thinking. Defund the police. Just, oh, we didn't mean that. Well, okay, you pull that gimmick all day long, but that's how it was interpreted. And then the wacky right. We've got to dismantle the FBI and the CIA. Just crazy. American institutions. I'm not saying they're perfect. A lot of it has to do is who's the director or who was the director before, which direction it's been going. I mean, you go on lots of different spokes on the wheel of what's wrong. Anyway, I'm pro-police. Yay, thumbs up for law enforcement. I'm glad that state troopers are going to supplement the loss of NOPD in New Orleans. I mean, this is brilliant. You put the troopers in the easiest spots, like, I'm not saying that the quarter is easy because it can have violent crime, but it's a lot of tourists. Troopers, that's perfect for them. They're dealing with like an out-of-town element, or even locals that go down there, even though it's our French Quarter, it's in our city. We know you're going into the, quote, tourist zone type of thing. So even we sort of adjust somewhat, especially if you were confronted by a state trooper, knowing there's sort of an outsider in law enforcement, but they're law enforcement. You can always pair up a trooper with an NOPD together, break it up that way, not two state troopers or two NOPD. Break it up. One state trooper, one NOPD. Always have NOPD with one or two state troopers, 2 or 3, 4 state troopers as an NOPD with them, whatever. It's real easy. I'm pro-policing the quarter and having those NOPD that know the city, that are savvy and experienced cops hitting those hard, heavy crime areas. Now, who can be defund the police, dismantle the FBI, the CIA? Just crazy. It's National Law Enforcement Appreciation Day. 209 years ago, New Orleans was celebrating 209 years ago. We beat the British. Andrew Jackson, Jean Lafitte, the pirate, men of color that were free, Kentucky riflemen, Tennessee riflemen, just slaughtering the British. Like, the British lost like north of 2,000 killed. 2,000. And there's some stories of, I'm not making this up, like 9 or 11 or 13 on the American side. Like some numbers are like that. At most, it's a few dozen, and it's 2,000 plus British. That was right down into Parish, brah. St. Bernard, where life is hard. Packingham, those are great names. That was the British admiral. He died there and on that field. Got name a street after him. Trying to invade. We beat you. I'm digging it. I think those are great names down in St. Bernard, down in Parish. We got a lot to discuss on this Tuesday. Corey Johnson with you. A full slate. Do not move. The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port Nola has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com.
Fausto's Italian Bistro on Veterans Boulevard, where the brothers Fausto and Roland are serving some of the city's finest Sicilian and Italian cuisine. From New Orleans' first family of Sicilian and Italian cooking, Fausto's Italian Bistro on Vets.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, with 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and now Mandeville. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa. WoodhouseSpas.com.
Did you know Rouse's sells only Angus beef? Angus beef's natural marbling means more succulence and flavor. Whether you choose Rouse's USDA Prime, Choice, or Select, it'll be only Angus beef when you get it at Rouse's. Tastes like home.
When a young man comes in and they walk into our store, and you can see they're a little intimidated. Last week, I saw the young man. I said, "Hey, what can I do to give you a hand?" He said, "Well, I'm here for an engagement ring, but I don't think I'm in the right place." So I got him to my desk, and within an hour, he had purchased an engagement ring, had spent $1,000, and he was treated like he spent a lot more, and I'm sure we have a customer for life. My name is Ken Friend of Friend & Company Fine Jewelers. You've got a friend in the jewelry business.
Young's Dry Cleaning has free pickup and delivery. That's right. Young's Dry Cleaning has absolutely free pickup and delivery. Home or office, East Bank or West Bank. Call Young's at 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
River Cities Total Maintenance keeps you cool, New Orleans. NOLAAC.com is your cool spot.
Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes, a magazine as unique as you.
Ooh la Leidenheimer, that's what I said. Ooh la Leidenheimer, that's French for bread. Leidenheimer.
The French bread of the city of New Orleans. Good to the last crumb. Leidenheimer French bread.
Francesca Deli and Pizzeria has over 15 specialty sandwiches, a big 10-ounce burger, and some of the best pizza in New Orleans. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview between Canal Boulevard and West End.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
Yeah, you right. Crescent City and beyond. Corey Johnson back at you on a Tuesday afternoon. Thanks so much for joining us. I want to check this out. I had some complaints about television. Let's see something real quick. Checking this, listening to the TV transition real quick. I don't know. It sounds about the same level, huh? I think on the same volume level as before. I was talking to a nice guy today. But I think we did have some problems with audio on TV where it was too low or something like that. No, it was I went to lunch with Dave Millett from Dave Millett Insurance Agency. Check him out right there, DaveMillettAgency.com. I went to lunch today with Dave right by one of his many locations. They're all over the Metro New Orleans, East Bank, West Bank, River Parishes, North Shore. Got you covered everywhere. Now, met him in Metairie. Sat at the hibachi at Shogun. Upwind from the hibachi grill. You get in the wrong seat at the Shogun Hibachi, it's shower time. Anyway, had lunch today at Shogun on Vets with Dave. Speaking, it just, the Shogun thing reminded me just walking out, and you kind of smell your shirt sleeve, or if you wear glasses, you pull the glasses up and hold them up to the light and see if it seemed like someone dipped a paintbrush in like butter or oil and from like 10 feet away sort of splattered you with it. Now, Ugle-Sitches on Barone, I literally used to go in there and put a sweatshirt on top of what I was wearing, because you will come out of there sort of smelling like whatever Ugle-Sitches is cooking. Just some of these places, they don't vent very well. Whatever it is, I don't know. They're cooking too much. They're cooking so much. You're right there on top of it. It's a small place confined where it is, whatever. I'm not complaining. I'm just saying, I was in a good spot at the Shogun upwind, so I didn't get the smell of the hibachi. But boy, what a lot of food. Ton of food. Corey Johnson with you. Yeah, you're right. Back on a Tuesday. Thanks so much for joining us. A guy today at Shogun. It's like 8 at the table, the hibachi thing. And it was going to be 3 of us. It ended up being 2 of us. So we got stuck with like 2 other parties, like one guy who came and a family of about 4 that came, and then me and Dave and the guy in there. So I was like, Corey, I'd check out the program. He was mostly on television. And he said, yeah, I had trouble hearing it the other day. Like there was a volume problem. So I wanted to make sure that was okay. I've got a few $50 Woodhouse Day Spa gift certificates to give away. This is really, there might be a few hundred people in the city overall. A bunch of them probably not checking out the program as we speak. It could just be a handful of people that would know the answer to this. Shogun on Vets, the hibachi tables. Did Shogun just buy them brand new when they opened the restaurant? Or did Shogun on Vets get them from another hibachi restaurant and they've been there for like 40 years? Where did Shogun on Vets get their hibachi tables? You can just tell me, Corey, I think they bought them new from someplace. That might be the answer. I don't think it is. You might be like, Corey, I think they got them from the so-and-so hibachi joint. If you know the answer to that crazy question, I got $50 for you. Good at one of the 5 area Woodhouse Day Spa locations. Gotta love that. Where did those Shogun hibachi tables come from? The grills. Do you know this answer, Miss Peaches? The Treaty of Ghent. The Treaty of Ghent Gent. The significance of that. Miss Peaches is saying, answer your phone calls and stop talking. All right, Miss Peaches. Randy joins us from Slidell via the Rouse's Markets phone line, 766-9480, 766-9480. What up, Randy?
Oh, Ray, what's up, my brother?
What up, dude?
I got me and my Belgian Malinois Astro trying to immerse him in Corey Johnson.
What a great name for a dog. Astro, just like Jetsons. And what, it's like most people would think it's a German Shepherd?
Yeah, they're just a little thinner, not as – I love the Shepherds. My wife would have killed me with all the shedding.
That Belgian Malinois sheds less?
Well, honestly, to me, it's worse because it's like that needly hair that's hard. Like like I know you've had Australian Shepherds, and you can just sweep that stuff up. This kind of Belgian Malinois hair, like it's shorter hair, I guess.
Yeah.
It gets into like everything, so you really got to like almost tweeze it out.
Yeah, no, I hear you. Those dogs. It's a shame, all this crappy breeding and stuff, inbreeding we do. We don't even know what we're doing. I know a lot of American German Shepherds have hip dysplasia problems. Those back legs go out, where a German Shepherd won't have that problem. And then the Belgian dog you have doesn't have that problem, just generally speaking. But it is a problem with American bred German Shepherds, and it's a shame. I've heard like some bulldogs, they have to have a C-section when they're pregnant and have puppies because they're the way they've been built for these dog shows and stuff. They're not really can't function properly anymore. I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah, man. To me, I know other people have said it, but along with like a sex predator list, there needs to be an animal predator list.
No, you're right. Yeah, because I think
the animals are just as defenseless. We to me, I view crimes against children as horrible because children can't defend themselves. Well, it's the same thing for animals. If you torture an animal, you're scum of the earth.
No, and I think it leads to eventual. I mean, how does someone treat an animal harshly, but they're going to be great with humans? I don't think the guy that goes to the dog fight or the cock fight or the people that run that are ultimately going to treat, humans right. Corey, you're wrong. That's my grandfather. It's been part of the culture. They've always fought dogs, and he's the sweetest man. I don't think that. I'm not some like, hey, Randy, life's a glass of water. Whatever you put in it, that's what comes out. You wouldn't want to drink that water with ink in it. I'm not playing that basic vanilla game. I'm trying to be realistic. People that torture animals and get enjoyment out of that can't be good with other human beings.
Well, no, and the people, and I know this isn't really what I call, but the people who torture animals and torture kids are usually too much of a coward. Because if they tried to do that to an adult, they'd probably get their what's kicked.
Oh, yeah. Well, there's no doubt about that. Yeah, it's obscene and crazy and on and on.
Hey, man, wanted to what you think about Dennis Allen, man? Some of the opinions out there, the pundits, so to speak, think it's Derek Carr's the problem. I don't know. Dennis Allen statistically, historically, has never been a winning coach. That's not an indictment. That's just a fact. He has a losing record as a coach, and I don't think it's close.
All right, 9-7 this year, just missed the playoffs. This is the deal, Randy, the quick version. The Saints, that organization, they're sticking with Dennis Allen. The way the team rallied at the end, winning whatever 4 or 5 or whatever they did, the last 2 wins, They think that's progress. They're moving forward. Carr's getting the offense going. Maybe they hire Gruden as a consultant or bring him in as an assistant coach, whatever. So I think that's how you have to look at that. Dennis Allen's coming back next year. Not going to be major coaching changes. They think it's going in the right direction. Going to add some players here, there, whatever, do their thing. This thing that's interesting, just social media is a trip. You've got Ed Daniels asking Jameis Winston totally legitimate questions after the game about the 11 players, probably led by Jameis Winston in the huddle, deciding to, out of the victory formation, run it in for a score. And against what Dennis Allen did. Dennis Allen, apologizes after. The team's fractured. He's lost the team. He needs to be fired, all this stuff. Just hysterical, just reactionary, not thinking about it outside of the bubble for 30 seconds, much less, a real amount of time that it needs to be evaluated. And just reacting impulsively, like, almost like children in a way, but ripping Ed Daniels, a lot of people on social media. And just, these Saints fans, these particular ones, they want the local media to be a fan of the team and not be media. So those are just a couple of points. One, Dennis Allen's not going anywhere. Two, a lot of these flaky Saints fans need to relax. Ed Daniels, a pro doing his job. You don't want the media being a fan of the team.
Yeah, man, you've preached about it for years, but the All-Star team with you and buddy from the other station and the late Kenny Wilkerson, I mean, y'all were Ed Daniels. It just doesn't get much better. We just, you guys are just, you're being replaced by robots.
Well, the real people, we were the sideline guys. We were on the outside. The real people are the Brian Alley Walsh, Mike Strom, Dave Lagarde, Peter Finney, Bob Ressler. Those are the guys that were like, they grew up in the, some of them.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Interlocks changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts.
For a second. Randy, any final thoughts? I overran the break train there. I think Randy's out of there. The Latrim spot scared Randy off. Hey, speaking of Latrim, Latrim.com is the website. They're hiring for a full listing of positions available. Latrim.com.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
Movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
When USA Today ranked the 10 best must-visit New Orleans restaurants for travelers, Mid-City's own Katie's made the list. USA Today says Scott Craig is chef-owner at Katie's, a much-loved Creole Italian eatery that draws armies of regulars for lunch, brunch, and dinner. A neighborhood spot where locals congregate and New Orleans-style hospitality rules. Indeed it does. Katie's in Mid-City.
Ladies and gentlemen, in this Lamarck Automotive Complex is something called Quick Lane. Tires, wheel alignments, struts, servicing your transmission. We're doing all makes and models. It doesn't have been purchased from us. It's for you. It handles your lifestyle with your budget in mind. And we want to get you in and out as quick as possible. Quick Lane, you got to come see it. You're going to love the experience. Right there at Williams Boulevard in Kenner.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, with 5 area locations, New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and now Mandeville. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa, woodhousespas.com.
Outdoor dining, Middle Eastern cuisine, under the oak trees, Lebanon's Cafe, some of the city's finest lamb chops and shish kebab, Carrollton at Jeanette by the streetcar barn, Lebanon's Cafe. For Leidenheimer Baking Company, producing the perfect French bread is more than a vocation. It's a sacred mission. And for 5 generations, they've used the same time-honored process, baking their signature loaf with its crisp crust and delicate center, unique and still good to the last crumb. From the finest French Quarter restaurants to your local po' boy shop, for over 125 years, New Orleans' own Leidenheimer.
For us, it's really relationships. And if you care about the relationship, you're going to do the right thing for the customer all the time. When we're in design process of a custom made piece, I have a test that says, if I wouldn't give this to my wife, I think we should pass and start over. If it's not perfect, it's going back to the shop. We're going to start all the way over. My name is Ken Friend of Friend & Company Fine Jewelers. You've got a friend in the jewelry business.
Cities, total maintenance keeps you cool. NoAC.com, your cool spot. NoAC.com, your cool spot.
Randy and Slidell, sorry about that. Didn't mean to cut you off. Randy wanted to talk Ukraine as well. Wow, Miss Peaches. Tomorrow, we're going to do a lot of that with Quinn Hillier, Ellis Hennick, and I'll give you a little take on that in a second. Finishing up on the Saints. No, it's pretty simple, in my opinion. Dennis Allen sticking around, no doubt. Remember I was telling you about Pete Carmichael, last year? Not going anywhere? A lot of folks, Carmichael's getting replaced. Social media blowing up. Who's going to be the new offense coordinator? I'm like, Carmichael's not going anywhere. Now, I don't cover sports. It's not my bag. There's no micro talk for me on sports. You know that. I just give kind of a macro picture. I'm a fan. I still follow it. I get, pros on like Brett Martell on Monday, Fletcher Mackel on Friday. Ed Daniels is a real pro. What he did with Jameis Winston was totally professional. I'm saying social media folks are just mind-blowing. Like, they'll listen to the audio and then go, hey, I want to hear from the player, not the media guy. Why don't the media guys shut up? Like, people that don't even know who Ed Daniels is, if he's got a good or bad reputation, from outside the market, just looking at this. And then people even inside the market. Ed Daniels, spineless. All this stuff from like New Orleanians that are Saints fans. It's mind-blowing. Okay, Jameis Winston was asking Ed Daniels questions. And Ed Daniels answered them. I think Ed Daniels is a total pro, was very respectful to Jameis Winston. Jameis Winston, if you listen to the audio, Ed Daniels is asking him questions, and Ed Daniels like, and Jameis Winston's playing dumb, like he doesn't know what Ed Daniels is asking. And Ed Daniels has to ask the question again, and then more specifically, and then ask it a third time, even more specifically, when everyone on planet Earth, including Jameis Winston, knows exactly what Ed Daniels was asking. Listen to the audio. Ed Daniels is a pro. He's not for the Saints. Like, I'm with you guys. I'm a fan. And he's not some jerk who's like, I'm going to go in and attack the Saints and make a name for myself. Ed Daniels has been doing this for 35, 40 years. He's got a name for himself, a big name. And he's a pro. And he doesn't have an axe to grind. And he's not a butt kisser. Just a pro that does his job. Journalistic integrity matters to Ed Daniels. And trying to piss off Jameis Winston, I would have gone off a lot more than Ed Daniels did. Yes, yeah, of course I thought it's bad. I mean, Ed was very diplomatic and reasonable. I'm like, Jameis, because you got to play Atlanta 2 times. Heated rivalry. You're running up the score? I mean, come on. Why do people even think that? You act like I'm pulling something out of left field and it's not been talked about or discussed for eons in sports history. I mean, Jesus. It's a great question. And then Jameis Winston kind of thinks he's going to be cute and starts asking Ed Daniels questions. No, the flaky Saints fans that are like, first off, there's no splinter of the team abandoning Allen, all that crap. And then Jameis Winston like, oh, so Ed Daniels, you're against the call, you're against the team? Well, you just said it was you and 10 people in the huddle. So one of y'all or 2 of y'all said, let's do this. And maybe it was a 6-5 vote. And the folks that were uncomfortable in that 11-man huddle didn't say anything. And just the loud folks said, yeah, we'll override Dennis Allen and run it in. Who knows? It happened quickly. But it wasn't the whole team like Jameis Winston said. No, so then you got everybody apologizing and all this crap. Anyway, bottom line, Dennis Allen hadn't lost the team. They won like 4 of their last 5 or whatever. He's not going anywhere. He's not getting fired. They're not going to replace coaches. Saints like where things are going. And you'll follow them next year. You will buy tickets. And when the season starts, you'll have a bunch of media, maybe a little more skeptical because, they were way overboard last year. With, not this past season, 2 seasons ago, with what the Saints were going to do. I think you had one media member out of 25 saying 9 wins, everyone else 10, 11, 12, 13 wins. I'm like, where is this coming from? And then this year, a lot of them sort of adjusted and went lower because of their first year folly. So no, next year, you're going to have media that are going to actually be scrutinizing the team a little bit and being a little more skeptical and not going in with the opposite approach, like I'm for the team. I mean, a lot of local sports media in New Orleans, it is don't alienate the team, don't alienate the fans, do your job journalistically. Ed Daniels isn't really worried about the first 2. He's not trying to alienate the team or alienate fans, just doing his job. But social media attack me and people that are, very outspoken and very frank. And like I said, I would have been in Jameis's face a little bit more than Ed was. Ed handled it like a pro. I might have got closer to the edge of his profession. He's asking me questions. I'm justifying my behavior because he's asking me questions. So, hell yeah, I'm answering him. That, Ed was just kind of not meek about it. He answered him. He wasn't meek at all, but it was very professional. No, I might be, go overboard compared to Ed. So, no, I think the Saints fans that think Ed Daniels is, ripping him on social media, I think it's just pathetic. No, I think it's weak. I'm not going to be like the station down the dial, like, man, Saints fans, the Who Dat Nation, we're special. We understand football better than other. I'm not here to appease and placate. I'm a Yaddy New Orleanian just like you. We love football down here. It's special here, maybe more than a lot of places, like basketball in the Midwest, maybe special more in the Midwest than other places, including here. Football in the Deep South, we love it. SEC, all of it. ACC, all of it. We love it. Louisiana football from high school, college, pro, we love it. Not denying that. But we're not like special fans that understand it better than other markets. I mean, it's just, we got a lot of emotional people in New Orleans and Louisiana. That's why we have a lot of problems in New Orleans and Louisiana. We let our emotion override logical, fact-based thoughts, what we want to believe, what we hope to believe. We will embrace that instead of where logic is telling you to go. And that happens with our sports. We love LSU. We love the Saints. We love them. We want everyone to be a fan. We want to believe they're going to win. We don't like when some media member's doing his job. No, there's something wrong with that. I'm an adult, When a team's winning and the media is saying these great things, it lifts that feeling even better. It verifies it. It legitimizes it. If the team's doing poorly and they're saying, they're doing better than that, when they do win, you question the media like, well, they always say they win even when they're doing poorly. And then the opposite's true. You don't want some media members that have like an axe to grind or attacking, players or a team, and that never happens here. Ever. Never. Not even close. In some other markets, it happens, and it sells papers or gets clicks or views or listenership, and management promotes that antagonistic thing with a pro sports team. But there's not a lot of longevity to that. It's in a few markets that are much more competitive, larger, more money at stake, and it never, ever happens here in New Orleans. But no, Ed Daniels did nothing wrong. Flaky Saints fans that want Dennis Allen gone, they're not getting rid of Dennis Allen. I like Jameis Winston. Jameis Winston made the little call there. He apologized, Dennis Allen. There's no fracture with the team. Dennis Allen hasn't lost the team. I mean, this just stuff is crazy. But and the Ed Daniels bashing is ridiculous. And social media is a joke because so many people comment. They have no idea about context. They throw out things just black and white, like cut and dried, and it's such a gray area. You know, their premises are very bad. So when you have one premise that's not fact-based, a second one that's not fact-based, your conclusion is not going to be fact-based and logical. It's going to be whacked because the premises leading to that conclusion are whacked. That's social media. I mean, not one of the two premises leading to the conclusion's bad. Both are, or all three, however many there are, usually two. It's those comments. I could re-comment on every single one. He wasn't mentioning all, just some. He didn't say this. He said that. I mean, just people make these general comments because it makes them feel better. But Saints fans, you don't have to like Ed Daniels like I like Ed Daniels or I don't like Ed Daniels. That's fine. But I think if you're a Saints fan, a sports fan, you would respect Ed Daniels if you like his style or not. Understand that he's a professional. He does his job right. He's not a butt kisser. He's not some guy with an axe to grind. He's a pro. You don't have to like him. You don't have to like his personality or his style or any of that. You don't have to watch him. But saying like he's spineless or he didn't do his job, and when Jameis Winston's asking the questions, I don't know. I don't know about you. Like I said, I'm an adult. I want my sports journalists to be journalists, to do their job. So when the team's doing bad, I'm getting accurate description of that. When they're doing well, I can enjoy it. I'm getting verification for what they're doing. You want professionals. You don't want fans covering the team. And you can't do both. You can't be, well, I'm a fan. I want them to win. I'm a fan, but I'm also fair and objective. You can't be. It's impossible. It's impossible. I want the coach telling me about the kid playing, not the father of the kid. I like questioning the father of the kid and finding out more about the kid, but the dad loves how the kid plays. The coach is he's seen a gazillion kids. He's going to tell you what he thinks of the kid. Hey, Rouse's Markets phone lines, 766-9480. 766-9480. That's how you can dial us up. The Treaty of Ghent. What is its significance to the city of New Orleans? That and more coming up next.
The Lamarck Automotive Collision Center. It's open now. We fix cars and trucks. We do all makes and models. And it doesn't have to be a Ford or a Lincoln. It could be whatever you're driving. 32,000 square feet under roof. Now open at 3101 Williams Boulevard. It's all about you, the customer, getting the most for your dollar. I would say the most perfect collision center anywhere. The Lamarck Automotive Collision Center, 3101 Williams Boulevard. Go check it out.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
From the owners of Katie's in Mid-City and Bienvenue in Harahan, an old school deli with over a dozen specialty sandwiches. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview between Canal Boulevard and West End. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria.
Ooh, Leidenheimer, that's what I said. Ooh, Leidenheimer, that's French for bread. Leidenheimer.
For over 120 years, New Orleans' very own Leidenheimer French bread.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
It's time to relax. The Woodhouse Day Spa, Metro New Orleans' premier day spa experience, now with 5 area locations. For a day of relaxation or maybe just a quick 1-hour getaway, the Metro area's premier day spa experience is at the Woodhouse Day Spa. And now 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and our newest location in Mandeville. The Woodhouse Day Spa, woodhousespas.com.
Being a part of people's lives, from an engagement ring to a wedding band. Before you know it, the wedding day is here and groom and bride are exchanging gifts on that day. And not too long after that, there's baby gifts to have. And I just enjoy being part of other people's family, saying, Mr. Friend did my engagement ring and he did my mom and dad's engagement ring. My name is Ken Friend of Friend & Company Fine Jewelers. You've got a friend in the jewelry business.
Rouse's Market is hiring. With 65 stores, full or part-time employment, and flexible scheduling, Rouse's has a job for you, or maybe even a career. Apply at any Rouse's store or online at rouses.com.
Young's Dry Cleaning, with 2 walk-up locations with personal service. Young's on Claiborne and Young's on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview. Young's Dry Cleaning. Call 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
What actually lasts a lifetime? Not much, but at Helm Paint, we have something guaranteed to last a lifetime. Benjamin Moore's Regal Select. This paint and primer in one offers cutting-edge waterborne technology, smooth application, and long durability. Helm Paint and Benjamin Moore, your New Orleans paint store.
Fausto's Italian Bistro on Vets has daily lunch specials Monday through Friday, and their entire lunch menu is available too. Open 11 a.m. through 2:30 p.m. For the finest in Sicilian and Italian cuisine, Fausto's Italian Bistro on Vets.
The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port Nola has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day, by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com. Yeah, you right, Crescent City and beyond. Corey Johnson back at you. I've got some $50 Woodhouse Day Spa gift certificates to give away just in time. Ash Wednesday, day after Mardi Gras. I believe that is that Valentine's Day? Mardi Gras is February 11th. I think February 12th is Ash Wednesday and Valentine's Day, same day, right after Mardi Gras. Valentine's Day, like 4 weeks away. 4 weeks away from tomorrow. Mardi Gras is 4 weeks from today. Mardi Gras Day, 4 weeks from today. Wow. Is that right? 4 weeks from today? Today's the 8th. Mardi Gras is 5 weeks. 31 days in January. 5 weeks from today, Mardi Gras. No, Valentine's Day, 5 weeks and a day away. Got some $50 Woodhouse Day Spa gift certificates. Go to woodhousespas.com. You can print your own gift certificate online, gift card, any denomination, including a full-blown day of relaxation, or visit one of the 5 area Woodhouse Day Spa locations. The Shogun Restaurant Hibachi Grills, where did they come from? Hint, hint, they came from another hibachi restaurant that closed down. So like 40 years ago, this hibachi joint, should I give them another hint, Miss Peaches? French Quarter location. They came from the French Quarter. It was kind of a national thing. All right, that's enough hints, Miss Peaches. Geesh. She's poking me with a stick. You folks on radio can't see it. You folks on YouTube and television, I'm making it up. The Treaty of Ghent. The Treaty of Ghent. What's its significance? Especially for New Orleans. By the way, 209 years ago, New Orleans celebrating the win over the British. Battle of New Orleans. Battle of New Orleans. A victory. Rouse's Markets phone lines, 766-9480. 766-9480. You know, I'm sitting here talking about Jameis Winston and Ed Daniels and their back and forth. I'll let you hear it if you haven't heard it, or if you have heard it, hear it again. Here's Jameis Winston and Ed Daniels post-game Saints from Sunday. Uh-oh. Did the 286 computer freeze up, Miss Peaches? Uh-oh. Stand by. Miss Peaches. Miss Peaches, put that crank thing in the front of the computer and crank it. Turn it. And look, I see the little mouse. He's not running on the wheel. No one replaced the cheese on the end of the stick last night. Oh, boy. We'll hear that cut in a second. I'm like half serious, half joking. I think we got too much stuff on this one computer. I've got a bunch of computers, but this one particular one that would play that cut, I think we got too much stuff going on that thing. It's bogging down. I need more RAM, more power. Rouse's Markets phone line 766-9480. I've touched on about 10 or 20% of O topics. Like nothing. No, I don't see anything up there, Miss Peaches. What? Oh, now I do. Heading to the phone lines, home of traffic. Metri, a.k.a. New Orleans West. Tim joins us, maybe in the traffic. What's up, Tim?
I was trying to get the Benihana question. I don't know what the Treaty of Ghent is.
Don't know what the Treaty of Ghent is. The Benihana? I didn't ask any Benihana question, Tim and Metairie.
I was just about Shogun. What was there before?
The tables in Shogun. They did, of course, come from Benihana in the quarter. You are correct.
Already got there, Mr.
Ding, ding, ding. What do we have for her, Johnny?
Nice job, Tim and Metairie. I got 50 big bucks for you at the Woodhouse. How do you remember that, Tim? I figured there might be a few dozen folks that know that. Those grills must be 40 years old.
I've got a trivia question for you. One of the largest electronic DJs maybe in the whole wide world. His daddy was the Benihana founder. His name is Steve Aoki.
Oh, wow. Yeah. I've heard about the owner guy. Wow. Interesting.
Yeah, so Steve Aoki is the son of Rocky Aoki, and Rocky Aoki founded Benihana.
Wow. Nice. Yeah, still some Benihanas around.
Yeah, I think so. I think there's a few somewhere in big cities, Los Angeles.
I mean, the Shogun, a lot of these places, it seems like they just follow the exact same sort of routine. The rice, the salad with that dressing, the broth or whatever that is.
The onion choo-choo train.
The onion choo-choo train or volcano, whatever the hell it is. Yep. Some get more creative. Yep. Tim and Metairie, thanks so much for the call. Tim and Metairie, probably sitting in traffic. Hey, Miss Peaches, get his info. Tim and Metairie just picked up 50 big bucks from the Woodhouse. He is correct. That's amazing to me that someone knew that, but I guess not. I mean, I just figured there weren't many people that knew it. It's a weird little trivia, but I guess a lot of people go to that Shogun. They do really well. I heard a little birdie told me that when I was in there today, that Shogun sold on Vets, like there's new ownership. I'm sure we'll find out soon. Breaking news on the neutral ground. Shogun on Vets, who cares? Has new owners. Who cares? Anyway, I'm sure people that go there care. It's like 4 restaurants in one. It's like a restaurant, and then it's the sushi bar, and then it's the hibachi. And I think they even have like the sort of the barbecue thing, the little like the tray of charcoal. You can do shish kebab type thing. I don't know. I haven't done that gimmick. Good job, Tim and Metairie. Excellent work. Hey, the Treaty of Ghent. Tim and Metairie knew a lot of other stuff. Rocky, what's his name from Benihana? But he said, I don't know the Treaty of Ghent. New Orleanians, I guess, should know that. It almost seems like that should be common knowledge. I got somebody that knows what the Treaty of Ghent's all about. Treaty of Ghent. Blue boy. But don't decipher dog. Even though I speak dog, don't decipher what you're saying for the audience because you have the answer correct. You're right. Don't give up the answer. Thanks, Blue Boy. What else? Folks should stick around 5 o'clock power hour now. Thanks,
You're
Blue.
on the Neutral Ground with Corey Johnson. On TV on Cox Channel 4 and Spectrum Channel 333. Also on YouTube. On radio at NOLA Talk 93.9 FM, WSLA New Orleans.
Hi, it's Ken Friend from Friend & Company Fine Jewelers. You've got a friend in the jewelry business. Come see us over on Maple Street in Uptown.
Friend & Company Fine Jewelers Breitling time, 5 p.m.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralox, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralox technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralox is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
Young's Dry Cleaning has free pickup and delivery. That's right. Young's Dry Cleaning has absolutely free pickup and delivery. Home or office, East Bank or West Bank. Call Young's at 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NoAC.com, your cool spot. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NoAC.com, your cool spot.
Rouse's, New Orleans grocery store. Rouse's has the only full-service grocery stores both in the French Quarter on Royal Street and in the CBD on Baronne in the old Sewell Cadillac building. The Rouse's on the river, Tchoupitoulas at Napoleon, is in a century-old warehouse. And uptown on Ferret at the corner of Valence is Rouse's all-new boutique store. With 7 locations in Orleans Parish, Rouse's is New Orleans grocery store. Rouse's Markets. Taste like home.
For us, it's really relationships. And if you care about the relationship, you're going to do the right thing for the customer all the time. When we're in design process of a custom-made piece, I have a test that says, if I wouldn't give this to my wife, I think we should pass and start over. If it's not perfect, it's going back to the shop. We're going to start all the way over. My name is Ken Friend of Friend & Company Fine Jewelers. You've got a friend in the jewelry business.
The Neutral Ground with Corey Johnson.
Susan Spicer joining us on the program.
Even when they presented me the award, the people that I look up to the most, Frank was there and Donald Link was there. It does cause you to reflect back and think about your whole career.
Maybe the Stella Brennan Award says that to you, like I've arrived.
It certainly is kind of the ultimate honor when it comes to cooking and hospitality in New Orleans and the world.
New Orleans style talk gumbo, served daily.
Doesn't get much better than that, huh?
Hi, this is Joey Helm. My dad, Bunky Helm, had a vision of a locally family-owned store serving the residential and commercial paint needs of New Orleans. I think Dad would be proud of today's Helm Paint and Decorating, and here's why. We have the best technical staff in the business, providing the best color matching service in Southeast Louisiana. Perfect matching for any color and any brand. And we'll save your colors so you don't have to save those old cans. Helm Paint offers free 2-hour delivery. Our in-store decorators will assist you on deciding what color and type of paint to best showcase your home. But most importantly, as your local independent Benjamin Moore dealer, our products provide the greatest value in the paint industry. Superior coverage, and Benjamin Moore paint simply covers better and lasts longer. New Orleans is a city of vibrant color, and no one else provides the paints of New Orleans like Helm Paint and Decorating. Visit any of our 6 locations or online at helmpaint.com.
Helm Paint, let us do you right. Helm Paint and Supply.
Ford F-150, #1 seller in America. What about in the USA? Let's see, what about in the world? Who sells more trucks than Ford? Nobody. It's because the Lamar team is the real team. All that makes it happen is one goal, everybody having a great experience at Lamar Ford. We became number one for a reason, because we're good. And we need to prove it every day, every deal, all the time.
Ooh la Leidenheimer, that's what I said. Ooh la Leidenheimer, that's French for bread. Leidenheimer.
5 generations, family owned and operated. Leidenheimer French bread.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
Yes. I've got on the pastel shoes, socks, pants, and coat. A lime green color, all matching. Silk socks, leather Italian loafers, some nice silky slacks, and a coat, all the same lime green color. And I've got a t-shirt on underneath. Am I Tubbs, or am I Crockett? Doesn't really matter. They both dressed the exact same. They might as well have been twins. Neither one dressed differently from the other. I could never tell them apart, seriously. I couldn't even tell you who Crockett or Tubbs is. I don't know who's who. And one's black and one's white. I have no idea who Crockett or Tubbs is. And I used to watch the show. Isn't that ridiculous? I watch some Law and Order every now and then. I'll get into like a Law and Order rerun, especially like the last 15 minutes, like when the you-know-what's hitting the fan, Miss Peaches. So I've watched some of these shows for a few years. I can't tell you the name of the characters. Sometimes I know like the actor's name, and that's what I refer to. But I know the gist of what's going on, so the names are sort of unimportant. Anyway, Corey Johnson with you, 5 o'clock power hour on a Tuesday afternoon. Yeah, you right. Thanks so much for joining us. Oh, so fine. 93.9 FM. Cox Channel 4 Television. Spectrum Channel 333 Television. Every weekday afternoon starting at 4. CoreyTalks.com. That's our website. Live streaming available. Check out the program from anywhere. CoreyTalks.com. Corey spelled K-A-A-R-E. CoreyTalks.com. You can email us, Corey@CoreyTalks.com. Hey, we are on YouTube. We have our own YouTube channel. You can click to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Please do that. And it doesn't cost anything. Go to YouTube, go to the little search bar, The Neutral Ground with Corey Johnson. Click to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Yeah, you right. 4 to 6 o'clock every weekday. Telling it like it is. Hey, tomorrow, Quinn Hillier, right-leaning Quinn Hillier. Left-leaning Ellis Hennigan will join us. A lot to discuss, like Secretary of Defense Lloyd Austin. He has prostate cancer. He was sort of MIA for a little while, even from the president. Talk about that. January 6th. Epstein list, on and on and on. Election this November for, President of the United States. Jeff Landry as governor. Right-leaning Quinn Hillier, left-leaning Ellis Hennigan. That's mañana. Boy, today, chilly out there, especially with the wind. I mean, earlier it was like 54. The wind was blowing definitely north of 10 knots, 10 miles an hour, roughly the same thing, knots and miles per hour at that low level. But still, wind blowing 10 plus miles an hour, 10 plus knots, windy, very windy and cold. So 54, I'm telling you, felt like 40 earlier today, especially in the shade. Tomorrow morning we'll wake up 39 degrees on the South Shore, North Shore, Cheyenne country. That means colder. That means triple P. Protect the plants, the pipes, and the pets, most importantly, on the triple P list. It is National Law Enforcement Appreciation Day. I'm pro-police. I'm pro-FBI and CIA. Boy, these lunatics on the left, defund the police, these wacky right-wingers, break apart the FBI and CIA, dismantle them, insane. It's National Law Enforcement Appreciation Day. I appreciate law enforcement. I don't want to defund police. I don't want to dismantle the FBI or CIA. 209 years ago, New Orleans celebrating the win over the British. The War of 1812, the Battle of New Orleans. Hey, that leads to some trivia. Got some $50 Woodhouse Day Spa gift certificates to give away. 5 weeks from tomorrow, Valentine's Day. I'll keep reminding you guys, she wants a day of relaxation from the Woodhouse Day Spa. The Treaty of Ghent, Ghent. It almost should be like, you know, if you're a New Orleanian, sort of common knowledge type of thing. Sort of. Treaty of Ghent. What is its significance? Some Saints fans are a trip. Social media posts. This Ed Daniels, Jameis Winston thing is funny. Just the flaky, emotional fans and their reactions, almost comical. Very emotional, not logical. Fire Dennis Allen, he's lost the team. Jameis Winston, you know, it's okay what he did, all this stuff. Just flaky and crazy. And then it gets out of control even more so, attacking Ed Daniels. Look, I'm not here to defend Ed Daniels. Ed Daniels doesn't want me defending him, doesn't need me to defend him. You know, he can handle it all himself. I'm sure he doesn't care. Ed Daniels is like 60 or so, maybe a couple years over 60, been at it nearly 40 years or so. He's a total pro. But some Saints fans, these flaky Saints fans attacking Ed Daniels, didn't think the Jameis Winston thing was handled right. National folks are listening to it and chiming in, but it's social media folks. So like 90%, I mean, just morons. Like my quote on social media, like a kazoo, anyone can play, no talent required. Let's see what you think. If you haven't heard it, here it comes. If you have heard it, hear it again. This is post-game Sunday Saints locker room. Jameis Winston with media around him, and then Ed Daniels chimes in with the question.
So no regrets. No regrets. This is the thing. It's about the team. It's not about regrets. It's not about anything else. It's about us as a team making a collective decision. But I do apologize to Dennis. I apologize to DA because that was not his call.
What you said decision made, was it right there on the spot, right when you're on?
What decision are you talking about?
At the end.
Okay. At the end, what decision?
To go for the touchdown.
To go for a touchdown.
Is that something decided on the sideline after the pick, or did you wait till you got out there to do it?
We decided on the field as a team. I mean, we don't regret. Do we regret for scoring 41 points on them? Do you think we regret that?
Well, you do have to play these guys twice a year. That's all I'm saying.
We already played them twice.
I know, but I'm talking about the future. Somebody's got to play these guys twice a year. That's all.
How do you feel about it? Tell me how you feel about it.
Not good.
Why don't you feel good about it?
Because you got to play these guys twice a year.
But what about it makes you not feel good about it?
The head coach tells you to kneel it up. You're asking my opinion?
Yes.
I think you should have kneeled it up.
Okay.
Well, I'm just telling you as respectfully as I can. You answer my question as respectfully as you can, and I'm telling you as respectfully as I can that I respectfully disagree. That's all.
You disagree with me or the entire team?
Whoever made that decision.
Okay, so you disagree with the entire team. So thank you.
No, I'm just being honest and respectful.
And that's what I'm attempting to do too. And that's what I am doing. So yes.
Yeah, and that's it. That's the audio. I mean, Jameis Winston kind of playing dumb, like what play, you know, what part at the end of the game, Ed Daniels has to lay it all out like 3 times when you ran the touchdown in victory formation instead of kneeling. And then Jameis Winston, the whole team. See, I would have Ed handled it like a pro. To be like, Jameis, you just said a minute ago you decided on the field, okay? You say the whole team. Now, it's 11 guys in the huddle, okay? And then I'm assuming that it was 1 or 2 guys that said do it, and then some other folks chimed in. I don't know if all 11 high-fived in there. Only you know. There could have been some of the 11 on your team in that huddle that didn't say anything, that didn't think it was a good idea, but didn't say anything and didn't say I'm against it. And you guys on emotion went and ran that play. But don't say the whole team. It's one thing or the other. When was it decided? On the field in the huddle then the other 42 players had no idea about it, right? And then Saints fans like jumping, and I'm not jumping on Jameis Winston. I like Jameis Winston. I just think it was kind of weird answer. He's asking Ed Daniels questions. Doesn't seem to like Ed Daniels' questions. Knows what Ed's asking. It makes Ed sort of ask it again and again. So Jameis Winston, whatever. I'm not like, boy, you handled it wrong. He's an idiot. It's not a big deal, but it was just dopey. But on the Ed Daniels thing, he did absolutely nothing wrong at all. And when it comes to just opinion on what went down, I'm in agreement with Ed. The coach says kneel at victory formation, you kneel it, especially in the victory formation. I mean, the other team's not expecting you to run it in when you're up by that many at the end. It's about respecting the game, the opponent. You can't say, it's the Falcons, we don't respect them. That's fan stuff. Teams on the field, it's a little different. New coach, old coach, Falcons are going to remember that. Ed Daniels is right. You got to play him twice a year. Jameis Winston, we already played him. It has nothing to do about the past, Jameis. And you know that. Jameis knows it. Anyone who plays sports understands this simple, basic concept, if you agree or not. If you're like, no, screw it. I disagree with the basic concept. Run it down their throat. It's the Falcons. Hey, I hate them. Screw them. I hear you. But you know the concept exists. You know what you're doing. No, Ed Daniels did nothing wrong. And Saints fans that get on Ed Daniels.
Young's Dry Cleaning with 2 walk-up Young's on Claiborne and Young's on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview. Young's Dry Cleaning. Call 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
When a young man comes in and they walk into our store and you can see they're a little intimidated. Last week, I saw the young man. I said, hey, what can I do to give you a hand? He said, well, I'm here for an engagement ring, but I don't think I'm in the right place. So I got him to my desk, and within an hour, he had purchased an engagement ring, had spent $1,000, and he was treated like he spent a lot more, and I'm sure we have a customer for life. My name is Ken Friend of Friend & Company Fine Jewelers. You've got a friend in the jewelry business.
The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port Nola has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day, by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com.
Rouse's Market is hiring. With 65 stores, full or part-time employment, and flexible scheduling, Rouse's has a job for you, or maybe even a career. Apply at any Rouse's store or online at rouses.com.
Ooh, Leidenheimer, that's what I said. Ooh, Leidenheimer, that's French for bread. Leidenheimer.
Served in New Orleans' finest restaurants, Leidenheimer French bread. There's a Middle Eastern restaurant that's less than 5 minutes from where Causeway and River Road meet, Lebanon's Cafe. Convenient to Old Metairie and Old Jefferson. Carrollton at Jeanette on the streetcar line, Lebanon's Cafe.
River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NoAC.com, your cool spot. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NoAC.com, your cool spot.
Custom window treatments can enhance the look and value of your home. At Helm Paint and Decorating, we're proud to offer custom plantation-style window shutters by Scandia. Perfect for any window, including large frames, French doors, sliding doors, and arches. American-made SL300 shutters are available in many colors to match your personal decor. We'll come out to measure, and you'll receive fast delivery. Plus, they're virtually maintenance-free.
Helm Paint and Benjamin Moore led us steer you in the right direction.
Helm Paint and Supply.
Fausto's Italian Bistro on Veterans Boulevard, where the brothers Fausto and Roland are serving some of the city's finest Sicilian and Italian cuisine. From New Orleans' first family of Sicilian and Italian cooking, Fausto's Italian Bistro on Vets.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, with 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and now Mandeville. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa. WoodhouseSpas.com.
In New Orleans, we don't eat to live, we live to eat.
More is better.
Scott Craig of Katie's.
That is our slogan. More is better at Katie's. It means more of everything. Not just more food, more smiles, more friendship, more love, more. When you do something, you have to do it right. You know, it's all about more, and it's all more of the good things.
Get more at Katie's Restaurant in Mid-City.
Yeah, you right. Hey, if you have a take on that Jameis Winston, Ed Daniels thing, 766-9480. Rouse's Markets phone lines, 766-9480. Just sort of a macro view. It's in a sports talk show. I don't cover the team. I don't think Dennis Allen's going anywhere. There aren't going to be any coaches fired. The Saints like how the season ended as far as winning and how the last few games and things are going in the right direction. Carr's figuring things out. Maybe they bring in John Gruden. That's a rumor. So that's that. I think that's one part. Second part, I think Ed Daniels is right. I don't think Jameis Winston needs to be cut. He needs to not be a part of the team. But I don't think Ed Daniels did anything wrong. I think sports media in general in New Orleans is kind of soft, and I think the fans are too, generally speaking. A lot of flaky fans that want to be appeased and placated want the media to be a fan, not report on the team, not do their journalistic job. I'm an adult. I'm the fan. Me and my friends, we talk Saints and LSU. We're the fans. Talk Saints and Kelly and recruiting today at lunch with Dave Millett. Earlier today, he's a big LSU fan. We're the fans. The media people that are journalists that are covering the team, I don't want them to be fans for a minute. I don't want some jerk that has an axe to grind that's going out to trying to stir the pot and antagonize either. But you folks in New Orleans thinking about that or even worrying about that, don't. It doesn't happen ever, ever, ever here. No one in the local media at all is trying to stir the pot with the Saints or LSU. There's a bigger risk of losing your credential than stirring the pot. If there's any concern at all with local sports media, it's that they're too soft and they are fans of the team. They're worried about not, befriending. They're worried about befriending the players and coaches, worrying about not alienating fans, and third, being a journalist and doing their job. Ed Daniels takes number 3, number 1. So I think he handled the Jameis Winston thing fine. And I think Saints fans, the flaky ones, have no idea what they're talking about. Dennis Allen's going nowhere. You can put up a billboard or sign a petition. It's not going anywhere. Dennis Allen doesn't understand Saints fans. When's he going to win back the fans? This is all irrelevant to Dennis Allen and the Saints organization. You're not going to influence or affect that at all. There's tens of thousands of season ticket holders. There's tens of thousands on a wait list. It's the Saints. You have to have years and years of just ineptness. They're 9-8. Everybody's going to be on board next year. But boy, some flaky fans ripping Ed Daniels nationally on social media. Don't even know who's the reporter. Jameis Winston controlled him. He dropped the bomb on him. I'm like, what are you talking about? People are just crazy, especially on social media. Corey Johnson with you on a Tuesday. Helm Paint and Decorating with 7 New Orleans locations. East Bank, West Bank, Mandeville, Hammond, they're everywhere. Plus 2 free 2-hour delivery anywhere in Metro New Orleans. So you can call Helm Paint and Decorating. Pick your Benjamin Moore colors. You can do that online. Call one of the 7 locations. Within 2 hours, everything's delivered to your location where you're painting. For your crew, that means they can keep working. Helm's delivering to them on the job site. 7 Helm Paint and Decorating locations in Metro New Orleans. When you got to paint in Metro New Orleans, and check this out. Hey, Capital City, Red Stick, that's right, Baton Rouge, Tiger Town. 4 Helm Paint and Decorating locations in Metro Baton Rouge. 4 Helm Paint and Decorating locations, same free 2-hour delivery, and they cover the whole Metro. That means West Baton Rouge, like Brewley, Port Allen. That means East Baton Rouge, like Prairieville, even to Gonzales. Free 2-hour delivery, high-quality Benjamin Moore products, Helm Paint and Decorating. When you got to paint in Metro New Orleans, when you got to paint in Metro Baton Rouge, do it once, do it right. They'll steer you in the right direction. Helm Paint and Decorating. Now in Tiger Town. Yeah, you right. 7 in New Orleans, 4 in Baton Rouge. That's pretty impressive. Pretty impressive. They're in Dallas, Texas now. Yep. 11 locations there in Dallas under Texas Paint, under the Texas Paint moniker. So you're talking about 22 locations from what Bunky Helm started 50 plus years ago in Earhart. Joey Helm and family, pretty damn impressive. Helm Paint and Decorating. Corey Johnson with you on a Tuesday. National Law Enforcement Appreciation Day. I appreciate the police. Defund the police. How dopey is that? I appreciate the FBI and CIA. Dismantle the FBI and CIA. How dopey is that? National Law Enforcement Appreciation Day. The loony left, defund the police. The wacky right, dismantle the FBI and CIA. Insane. I'm pro law enforcement. It's National Law Enforcement Appreciation Day. I'm fired up that NOPD can go hit hot spots and state troopers can handle the quarter in tourist areas. Smart. We need more cops. What a great way to supplement them. 209 years ago, New Orleans was celebrating a big win over the British, the Battle of New Orleans, War of 1812. Great story there. What an upset. Ray Brandt estate. What a mess that is, huh? Poor Ray Brandt. What a sweet, nice man. His wife, I guess his wife had kids from a former husband. Their kids, so the wife's grandchildren. I mean, I just got to say, it just seems like a couple of brats. They're in their 20s. They get it all basically when they're 30 anyway. Instead, they went to war to get it all now. One of them's like 23. The other one's like 28. Watch those two in the future. It ain't going to end well. They're liquidating everything. Sold Manally's, Ray Brandt, Nissan Ray Brandt, whatever, will be no longer. Going away. Gail Benson scooped up a few of the dealerships. Troy Duhan, the Premier Group, scooped up some dealerships. Ray Brandt's estate. All those auto dealerships, selling them all. No, that is an ugly situation. I mean, like the Rummel president is the executor of the will. It is just a nasty mess. One of the, main guys under Ray Brandt, who managed a bunch of the dealerships, he's involved in it. Just crazy. Crazy. Look, I mean, they're all kind of, Ray Brandt can do whatever he wants with his money. But that's the problem. The will, the changes of the will, what kind of health was he in? Was there any manipulation? Then you have outside people making these calls. Just sucks. I said the other day, you're like in a relationship and you're fighting. Figure it out yourself or call a friend to help out and be, don't call 911. You're going to let the police come in and get involved in your relationship? Why am I going to bring in outsiders? I'll handle it with my wife, girlfriend, myself. It's crazy. Bring in outsiders. No, I mean, poor Ray Brandt. I'm sure he's rolling in his grave. His wife that he loves has to deal with these grandchildren that don't give a crap about grandma. Obviously, they want all the money now, and they're like 20-something. It's like, what have you done in life? It's just a sad, pathetic story. And Ray Brandt can't be happy about it. Rummel Principal is the executor. I mean, my head was imploding reading this. I'm like, it's like a sad, pathetic Hollywood story that, people want to see the plane crash. No, and like I said, Ray Brandt was a sweet, kind guy. Kind of, humble guy, not kind of shy, not very loud and obnoxious, and didn't want to be in the spotlight. No, he's rolling in his grave. He's like, this is pathetic. It is pathetic. And there's no way, no how those 20-something-year-old grandkids are going to end up all right from this. There's no way. It's impossible. No way. I mean, that's where life pretty much works out pretty fairly. No, you're wrong, Corey. The kids are just very grounded. They wanted the money now, and they're not going to go crazy with the money. They're not going to blow through it. They're going to make sound investments and grow it, and Ray Brandt would be proud. Yes, I don't see that. I see this thing as just ugly soap opera crap that I'm talking about. That's how bad it is. Speaking of bad, boy, you saw that bus, Miss Peaches, hit the pothole, and then it turned into a sinkhole, and the whole bus, the left rear axle, just totally in the street. Thank goodness no kids were right off Palmetto and Airline, that little neighborhood, which I think they called it the Dixon neighborhood. It's a little tiny little neighborhood. Airline, Palmetto, and then it kind of backs into like 17th Street Canal, New Orleans Country Club golf course area, kind of. Anyway, Dixon neighborhood. I just say right off Palmetto and Airline. No, a sinkhole. How about this airplane, this 737 with the window flying out? And then I forget what airline, United, whatever it is, they inspect some other ones and they see like bolts or fasteners for windows like on the floor inside the window of the plane, just like that window could come out. This is the 737 MAX, which was already grounded. You remember with the weird radar? Not radar, the weird autopilot, where because this plane has been altered so much, they're trying to make it as fuel efficient, a long time carry to stretch it out longer, put some tips on the wings, new wings, carbon fiber, just all these changes. It's made the plane like not fly perfectly naturally, like the pilot almost needs assistance because it's a pain in the ass to fly at certain times, or the natural pilot reaction to level the plane would make the plane dive and things of that nature. So it had they had an acronym for it to fix it. They were grounded. They went through the software. They fixed the problem. The 737 MAX. Now this window flies off. Look, I'm no airline expert, but I like facts. Airbus, their competitor, whatever it is to the 737 MAX. I don't know if it's you could pull it up, Miss Peaches. What's the Airbus competitor to the 737 MAX? I'm assuming it's the Airbus, the A320. Might be some A320i, A320i Eco. I mean, I don't know what it is. It's one of these Airbus planes. And the plane's probably from like the 90s, if I had to guess, from Airbus. Maybe from late 90s, 2000. Something like that. What is it, Airbus 330 or something like that, Miss Peaches? That's the 737 MAX competitor. Okay. When's that plane? Can you land on like a wiki or something on that? Just see like when it was first produced. I'm guessing it's a variant of an A330. It's like from the 90s or maybe 2000. Any clue? Anyway, the 737, this 737 MAX, the 737, it came about like in the early 70s, late 60s. And the 737, so late 60s, early 70s, it's like 50, 55 years old. The front part of a 737 and like where the pilot is and the kind of up to the front door, that essentially is off of a 707. Now, it may have been redesigned, whatever, but essentially, I mean, Boeing will tell you this. It is essentially from a 707, which is from like the late 50s. So like the 737 MAX, basically what Boeing decided was instead of recreating a brand new aircraft from scratch that fits this niche, they constantly retrofitted and changed and altered. I mean, I don't want to say essentially a 707. It's a 737. But that 737 has some 707 stuff. So 60, 70-year-old aircraft design in some ways. No, the MAX being grounded, having to have the software to alter the weight because it flies weird or could dive with natural pilot tendencies instead of fly straight, having to have software to adjust that, the windows popping out. No, maybe Boeing should have bit the bullet and recreated the aircraft. Corey Johnson with you. No, started from scratch. Because I'm a Boeing proponent. I'm an American. I want Boeing to succeed. Our allies are Airbus, France, Germany, Spain. I'm not against Airbus, but they're a competitor to Boeing. I want Boeing to always do better than Airbus, and I want Airbus to be successful. It's sort of the other way around. Airbus does better than Boeing lately, and Boeing's still successful. Corey Johnson with you. Yeah, you right. Don't worry about it, Miss Peaches. I pull crap like this up, and I can fly through it quickly and fine because I've read this kind of crap before. But yeah, the wiki could steer you all over the place. Yeah, you right. Corey Johnson back at you. Leidenheimer French bread. They've been baking Leidenheimer French bread. Leidenheimer Baking Company has been baking Leidenheimer French bread in the city of New Orleans for over 125 years, since 1896, 3 centuries now. It's amazing. It is the official French bread of New Orleans, isn't it? It isn't an official New Orleans po' boy. It's not a real, authentic New Orleans po' boy if it's not on Leidenheimer French bread, right? Good to the last crumb. Leidenheimer French bread. Leidenheimer Baking Company. Hey, tomorrow, Quinn Hillier. That's right-leaning Quinn Hillier. Conservative Republican Quinn Hillier. Left-leaning Ellis Hennigan, liberal Ellis Hennigan, joins us tomorrow. Another edition of Hillier and Hennigan. Lot to discuss. Secretary of Defense Lloyd Austin has prostate cancer. That MIA thing, and I don't mean, medical exam. I'm talking about missing in action. He, not the president not knowing, just strange. See what Quinn and Ellis think about that. January 6th, the deniers. Wait till the video comes out. Wait till this breaks. Wait till this. The FBI, the ghost bust. Clay Higgins, my God. Ghostbusters. Clay Higgins, the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. Jeez, Clay Higgins. Have any of you heard this guy? I mean, talk about just gibberish and nonsense. It's mind-blowing. It's like the Ray Epps thing. Ray Epps is a Donald Trump guy, okay? Through and through. Voted for Trump, went to the protest, MAGA guy. An FBI plant, that's the right-wing controversy. That's the conspiracy. That he's really a left-wing guy. He's a Democrat. And Ray Epps was injected into that to stir up MAGA people. He didn't even go to the Capitol. Didn't even go into the Capitol. It's mind-blowing. And now here's the thing. Everyone in America, everyone in the world saw the Capitol insurrection, the riot, live on TV. Live. So there's no video that's going to show anything different. There's no, the FBI did it. It's really a bunch of left-wing folks that wanted to make it look like it's, it's amazing. There's a sickness with both the loony left and the wacky right. I'm talking about the wacky right now. And Donald Trump especially. It's a sickness. He can say anything. And if it's confirmed that it's wrong or incorrect or crazy, he was just joking. But if it's right and it's solid, of course he meant that. It's like you have to know the code or something. And the code, you're always right. It's like Trump. He's always right. If he said something dumb, he was joking. If he had said something that was right, he meant it. That's great. I'd like to never, ever be wrong too. That would be great. And have minions backing me on that I'm never wrong, that I am the greatest, that only I can get it done. That's awesome. I love it. Tiger and Nike parting ways. Tiger Woods and Nike parting ways. A way too early ESPN top 25. LSU's 14th. Tulane not in it. Oh, Miss Peaches, I forgot the best part about the plane with the window blowing out. The best part, it was early in the flight. I don't know how many feet they were up. 10, 20,000 feet. I don't know how high. Just had left the airport just a few minutes earlier. Weren't too far away. Everybody was still buckled in. That was a blessing. But supposedly, one dude sitting right by the window, his shirt got ripped off of his body, like just ripped right off of him. That's how much suction force. Some kid's stuffed animal, I believe, probably some magazines and loose paper and crap like that, and an iPhone, which not only flew out the window, landed on the ground, they powered it up and it worked. I would assume it had one of those cases on it, or it was the new titanium, one of the two. But that's impressive. The iPhone flew out the window, and when they recovered it, it worked. That's amazing. Anyway, Rouse's Markets phone lines, 766-984-80. The Treaty of Ghent. It's almost like required New Orleans knowledge. Like, you know, if you're a New Orleanian, it's sort of almost common knowledge, almost not really. The Treaty of Ghent. I'll give you a hint. Hey, 209 years ago, New Orleans was celebrating. 209 years ago. New Orleans, the Battle of New Orleans, the War of 1812. Andrew Jackson, Jean Lafitte the pirate, black men, free slaves, Kentucky, Tennessee riflemen. They slaughtered the British, like 2,000 British killed, 2,000 plus in Chalmette. And maybe like at most a few dozen Americans, New Orleanians, Louisianians. One of the biggest upsets anywhere. When I talk about the three biggest upsets in New Orleans, the Pelicans getting the Hornets, getting the NBA, that's number 3. Number 2 is Joseph Gao, the Vietnamese man beating Bill Jefferson, the 9-term U.S. congressman. The number 1 upset is Jean Lafitte, the pirate, and Andrew Jackson beating the British. Now, one of the great things about the story, you know, when Britain and France would fight, there'd be like a band in front, flags. You don't shoot the generals on the horses because war needs to be civilized. They need to control the troops. You stand and shoot, they reload, they stand and shoot. Just sort of this insane sort of civilized war thing. And that's how war was. Everybody sort of respected these rules of war. They're rules of war today. They're just different, but they're rules where you don't rape or murder children or women. Anyway, the British come in with the band and the flags and all that, and Andrew Jackson and Jean Lafitte. It may have been by Jean Lafitte, who knows, pushing this agenda. Hey, guys, they're invading us. The rules are out. So they essentially led the British to Chalmette, so they'd have to come through that swamp. And then they put up logs and, you know, hay and dug trenches and hid, essentially, protected themselves, didn't march with a band. And if you're a good shot, I'm getting killed today in battle. the British are just standing out there like a, turkey shoot. They're just, and Andrew Jackson and Jean Lafitte and all their Tennessee and Kentucky riflemen and free men of color and anyone else that's fine just unloaded on the British, where you had 2,000 plus casualties and a few dozen on the U.S. side. And some say on the U.S. side, it was some people that weren't used to the war. They just ran out of their foxhole or ditch and ran off and got shot running off, like people that kind of went crazy during the battle on the U.S. side. So it's like, it is totally the narrative. I had 2 classes at LSU, and both professors, it was 2,000 plus British casualties, and one professor was like 11 dead on the U.S. side and 2,000 plus. So a slaughter. That was 209 years ago. The Treaty of Ghent has an irony to it. If you know why, what's the Treaty of Ghent? I've got $50 for you at one of the 5 area Woodhouse Day Spa locations. Miss Peaches fielding your phone calls right now, 766-9480, 766-9480. Hey, Lebanon's Cafe on Carrollton by the streetcar barn. So good. Some of the finest Middle Eastern food in Metro New Orleans. Shish kebab, lamb chops, all your favorite Middle Eastern sides. Priced right, fresh, authentic, large portions. It's really tough to beat. Lebanon's Cafe.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes are magazine, as unique as you.
Custom window treatments can enhance the look and value of your home. At Helm Paint and Decorating, we're proud to offer custom plantation-style window shutters by Scandia. Perfect for any window, including large frames, French doors, sliding doors, and arches. American-made SL300 shutters are available in many colors to match your personal decor. We'll come out to measure, and you'll receive fast delivery. Plus, they're virtually maintenance-free.
Helm Paint and Benjamin Moore led us steer you in the right direction.
Helm Paint and Supply.
The Lamarck Automotive Collision Center, it's open now. We fix cars and trucks. We do all makes and models. And it doesn't have to be a Ford or a Lincoln. It could be whatever you're driving. 32,000 square feet under roof, now open at 3101 Williams Boulevard. It's all about you, the customer, getting the most for your dollar. I would say the most perfect collision center anywhere. The Lamarck Automotive Collision Center, 3101 Williams Boulevard. Go check it out.
For Leidenheimer Baking Company, producing the perfect French bread is more than a vocation. It's a sacred mission. And for 5 generations, they've used the same time-honored process, baking their signature loaf with its crisp crust and delicate center, unique and still good to the last crumb. From the finest French Quarter restaurants to your local po' boy shop, for over 125 years, New Orleans' own Leidenheimer.
River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NolaAC.com, your cool spot. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NolaAC.com, your cool spot.
From the owners of Katie's in Mid-City and Bienvenue in Harahan, an old school deli with over a dozen specialty sandwiches. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview between Canal Boulevard and West End. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria.
Yeah, you right. Corey Johnson back at you. Hey, why aren't you at Katie's right now in Mid-City? Flat screen TVs, check out all your sports action. Plus, on like a sports bar, it's Katie's in Mid-City, the quintessential New Orleans neighborhood restaurant. A true taste of New Orleans, big portions, great for sharing. New Orleans specialties, old school. Why aren't you at Katie's in Mid-City right now? Iberville, corner Tallahassee. As New Orleans as it gets, everybody loves Katie's. Hey, tomorrow, right-leaning Quinn Hillier, left-leaning Ellis Hennigan join us on the show. Talk about Lloyd Austin, defense secretary who has prostate cancer, but the MIA thing was sort of strange. January 6th, deniers, Epstein list. Mañana, another edition of Quinn Hillier, Ellis Hennigan, Hillier and Hennigan as we call it. Boy, a little cool out there tomorrow morning when we wake up, like 39 degrees. 39. Miss Peaches, I had purchased some steaks about 3 days ago, and I didn't want them to go bad. And I didn't want to do them in the oven because they were good steaks. So in between those thunder showers last night, I grilled. The first one rolled through like 6:30. By 7, it was over with. And it didn't rain for like 4 or 5 hours. It was just windy as hell, but it was a great night. And the breeze actually got the coals graying over quicker. And I grilled last night in between those downpours. We got some good weather. Tomorrow morning, about 39. The weekend looks really nice. Saturday and Sunday, just cool and comfortable. Starting off in the 40s and just sort of cruising into the 50s. Supposed to be sunny. It's Tuesday, and I'm thinking about the weekend. National Law Enforcement Appreciation Day. You loony lefters, you left-wingers, hyper woke, super progressive, defund the police, one of the dumbest things in the history of American politics. Whoever came up with that, defund the police, and people went, yeah, and it built momentum. Something wrong with you folks. How to lose. And the wacky right, you couldn't just leave well enough alone. Let the loony left just dig their own hole. You have to jump in that hole, huh? The FBI and the CIA need to be dismantled. Boy, the extremists. National Law Enforcement Appreciation Day. I give a thumbs up to law enforcement. I'm glad state troopers are coming in New Orleans. They can handle like tourist areas and let the NOPD, the hardened, experienced NOPD cops, take care of the hardened, violent criminals. 209 years ago, New Orleans celebrating the Battle of New Orleans, a big victory over the British. What's the Treaty of Ghent? Give me the answer to that. I've got $50 for you at the Woodhouse. 5 area locations, 766-9480. That's how you can participate. 766-9480. Some Saints fans are at trip. Social media posts. This Ed Daniels, Jameis, Winston exchange. I don't know about you. I'm a Saints fan. I want Ed Daniels as a journalist. I want media members that approach their job professionally and aren't there to befriend the team, be fans of the team, just do their job and report fairly and objectively on the team. I want Ed Daniels out there for me. I don't want fans pretending to be media members. Boy, the way too early ESPN top 25 is out. Georgia's number 1. LSU 14th. Tulane not in it. John Summerall, I think, has done everything right, maybe even more than expected. That Tulane football, I mean, to me, they are a top 25 program. And even though they're not in this way too early top 25, let the season roll in next year. John Summerall just seems like a total winner. It seems like he's going to take the Willie Fritz baton and really run with it. If you're Houston, you've got to be really happy having Willie Fritz as your head coach. And if you're Houston, you got to be like, wow, we might be hiring back-to-back coaches from Tulane. We have Willie Fritz for about 5 years and then go try to hire John Summerall away from Tulane. I hope Tulane has John Summerall for 5 years. I hope Tulane has John Summerall for a long, long time. And it doesn't bother me 1 minute if folks from bigger schools come after John Summerall next year, the year after that. You know what that means? Tulane's winning big time. You want that problem. Corey Johnson with you on a Tuesday. Hey, guys, 5 weeks from tomorrow, Ash Wednesday, is Valentine's Day. Friend and Company Fine Jewelers, real natural diamonds, 1 billion years old. Do you hear the radio and TV commercials? Literally copying exactly what I'm saying. Some of these jewelers running with this, the real natural diamond thing. It was so obvious to me. Who wants 3-week-old man-made lab-created diamonds from China? Something that depreciates in value. The market's getting flooded by that junk, the fake diamonds, man-made, lab-created 3-week-old diamonds. I don't want that. I want real natural diamonds, 1 billion years old. Friend and Company Fine Jewelers, Maple Street in between Broadway and Carrollton.
Being a part of people's lives, from an engagement ring to a wedding band. Before you know it, the wedding day is here and groom and bride are exchanging gifts on that day. And not too long after that, there's baby gifts to have. And I just enjoy being part of other people's family, saying, Mr. Friend did my engagement ring and he did my mom and dad's engagement ring. My name is Ken Friend of Friend and Company Fine Jewelers. You've got a friend in the jewelry business.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
My Sittu, that's Arabic for grandmother, used to make the best football kibbe. You can experience kibbe just like my grandmother used to make, and so many other Middle Eastern favorites on the streetcar line, Lebanon's Cafe. The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port Nola has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day. By river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
It's time to relax. The Woodhouse Day Spa, Metro New Orleans' premier day spa experience, now with 5 area locations. For a day of relaxation or maybe just a quick 1-hour getaway, the Metro area's premier day spa experience is at the Woodhouse Day Spa. And now 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and our newest location in Mandeville. The Woodhouse Day Spa, woodhousespas.com.
Yeah, you right. Corey Johnson back at you on a Tuesday afternoon. Tomorrow's going to be a good one. Wide open Wednesday. I love it. Quinn Hillier, Ellis Hennick can join us. Right-leaning Quinn, left-leaning Ellis. Talk some national stories. I love these national pundits. They're native New Orleanians. They're us. But they've both been gone like 40 years. Quinn, a lot of time in D.C. Ellis, all of the time in Manhattan, New York. Right-leaning Quinn, left-leaning Ellis. We call it Hillier and Hennick, and they'll join us tomorrow. A lot to discuss. November's election, Trump, Biden, January 6th, Epstein list, Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin with the prostate cancer, and the missing in action thing for a little while. A ton of stuff to discuss tomorrow. Boy, that Ray Brandt estate thing. Ray Brandt estate selling the auto dealerships. No more Ray Brandt, whatever. Gail Benson scooping up some. Troy Duhan Premier Group scooping up some. that fight, that family feud, I guarantee you Ray Brandt's spinning in his grave. He doesn't like it at all. Those grandchildren to me, 20-something years old, we're going to get everything like when they're 30, fighting for it early. Seems like something's very, very, very wrong with that. That's Blue Boy saying thanks so much for watching and listening. See you tomorrow, straight up 4 o'clock.
You're on the neutral ground with Corey Johnson on TV on Cox Channel 4 and Spectrum Channel 333. Also on YouTube, on radio at NOLA Talk 93.9 FM, WSLA New Orleans.
Hi, it's Ken Friend from Friend & Company Fine Jewelers. You've got a friend in the jewelry business. Come see us over on Maple Street in Uptown.
Friend & Company Fine Jewelers, Breitling time, 6 p.m.